let's jump right in. 3.2 Steps to Implement an Anti-Bribery Management System.
Hello and welcome. Now this material is created by EasyPathUni in coordination with Yazan Ibrahim. And today, we're not just talking about compliance, we're talking about construction. Think of it like this. We're building a fortress of integrity for your organization from the ground up. So let's get into our project plan.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at the blueprint itself. What exactly is ISO 37001? Then, we'll get our hands dirty laying the foundation. After that, we'll start building up your defenses, wire up all the monitoring systems, and finally, we'll step back and look at the finished structure, talking through both the challenges and, of course, the rewards.
You know, every great project starts with a really great blueprint. And when it comes to fighting bribery, the absolute gold standard blueprint is ISO 37001. It gives us the whole architectural plan for a system that's literally designed to keep corruption out.
So what is this thing we're actually building? Well, an Anti-Bribery Management System, or ABMS, is this comprehensive framework. And listen, it's not just some policy document you print out and stick in a drawer. No way! It's a living, breathing system designed to prevent, spot, and handle bribery risks. The goal here isn't just to check a box for compliance. It's about embedding a culture of integrity deep into your organization's DNA.
And you should know the 2025 version of our blueprint is a pretty major upgrade from the 2016 edition. For instance, it's got this harmonized structure, which is just a fancy way of saying it's now much easier to integrate with other management systems, like quality or environmental. It also pulls climate action into the picture and has an even stronger focus on culture, which makes it a way more robust and relevant plan for the world we live in today.
All right, blueprint in hand, it is time to break ground. And as any builder will tell you, if that foundation is weak, the entire structure is at risk. So this phase, it's absolutely non-negotiable for success.
These are the first three critical steps. First, you've got to get that unwavering commitment from leadership. Seriously, this is the concrete that holds everything else together. Second, you define your context and scope. You got to understand the terrain you're building on. And third, you establish a crystal clear, zero-tolerance anti-bribery policy. This becomes your cornerstone.
Okay, with a solid foundation poured and set, we can start putting up the framework. These are the walls and the beams of your system, the structural elements that are going to actively protect your organization from bribery risks.
Now, before you build the walls, you have to survey the land for any weaknesses. This is your bribery risk assessment. As you can see here, you need to analyze risks from every single angle. Geographic factors? Well, they're often the biggest piece of the pie, followed closely by your business and transactional risks and, of course, your third-party relationships. This assessment tells you exactly where you need to build your strongest defenses. Okay, so the survey's done. You've identified all the high-risk areas. The crucial next question is, what are you going to do about it? How do you actually design and build the controls to manage those specific risks? Let's take a look. There are really two main types of controls you'll be building. You've got your financial controls, things like authorization limits, which are kind of like the high-security locks on your doors and vaults. Then you have non-financial controls, like background checks, which are more like your security cameras and keycard access. Together, they create this really powerful layered defense.
You know, a building isn't really finished when the walls are up. It needs all the systems that make it a living, breathing structure. The wiring, the alarms, you get the idea. In our anti-bribery system, this is the monitoring phase. Think of your reporting channels as the fire alarms for your system. If there's smoke, you need a way for people to pull the alarm, and it has to be easy and, more importantly, safe. That's why having multiple channels, from anonymous hotlines all the way to direct access to senior management, is just so crucial. It makes sure that no matter who sees a problem, they have a way to report it without any fear. And this building, it requires regular inspections to stay up to code. Getting ISO 37001 certified isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. You'll have annual surveillance audits and then a full recertification audit every 3 years. This makes sure your structure stays strong and effective against all the new and evolving risks over time.
So the hard work is done. Let's step back for a moment and look at our finished structure. Just like any major construction project, building an anti-bribery management system has its hurdles. But believe me, the final result is well worth the effort.
It's so important to be realistic here. I mean, no large-scale project goes off without a single hitch, right? So, what are some of the common construction delays or roadblocks you should probably anticipate when you're building out your system?
The key is to have a plan for these challenges before they pop up. If you're short on resources, just prioritize based on your biggest risks. If you're getting some cultural pushback, well, that's a signal for leadership to step up and really model the right behaviors. And for that tricky third-party management, a solid, risk-based due diligence process is your best friend. See? Every problem has a solution.
And why go through all this trouble in the first place? Well, the rewards are huge. A certified system is not just a plaque on the wall. It builds real, tangible confidence with your investors, your customers, and your partners. It gives you a competitive edge, it demonstrates compliance, and maybe, most importantly, it dramatically reduces your legal and reputational risks. It's truly an investment that pays for itself over and over again.
Ultimately, you can have the best blueprint in the entire world, but as the source material really emphasizes, success boils down to sustained leadership commitment and a culture that truly, genuinely prioritizes ethical behavior. Without those things, the whole structure just won't stand.
And that leads us to this final thought. You've gone through the process, you've built the structure, now you really have to ask yourself, is it a true fortress built with conviction and designed to withstand real pressure? Or is it just a facade, a hollow structure that's going to crumble at the first sign of trouble? The answer really lies in how authentic your commitment is.